I want to give a very special shout out to @KeysToTheJungle and @NextGenClassics for letting me come and check out the collection in here and be able to film and talk about it for you guys. I literally would not be standing here next to an Enzo, next to this whole collection, and an F50 if it wasn't for them. Look at the engine cover on the back of the Enzo, full carbon fiber, wishbone suspension on this. This is, I'm honestly kind of speechless. I'm not very speechless a lot of times when I see cars, but seeing something like this, like that's like my dream. It's absolutely crazy. So the seats in the Enzo are really interesting. They have full carbon fiber in the back, but these seats are actually really comfortable compared to some like supercars that sit in like Huracans. Yes, they look super sporty. They have the bolsters here, they have the carbon inserts right here, but I could actually sit in this for like a very long time. It was super comfortable. Like most race car seats, they come and they squeeze your thighs a bit, they kind of push them together. This one I had room to spread my legs a little bit, but it's weird how far in that the brake and the gas pedal is to the center of the car. It's odd. It forces your feet, that if you're sitting in straight like this, it kind of forces your feet to be like this at an angle. So this car was ended up repainted. So I was talking to the owner. They told me that it was repainted by a company out in Italy. This company sprayed all the original Enzos when they came out. It wasn't done by Ferrari, it's done by this company, but since the company did all of the sprays and all the paintings for the Enzos, it's basically like a factory work. So this car got a factory respray, if you want to call it that. Quad exhaust out the back, the craziest bumper I've ever seen. The car was actually co-designed by Michael Schumacher, the famous F1 driver, and that he put a lot of input into making the Enzo, as the front bumper is kind of like an F1 car with the way that it slopes down in the front and obviously how low it is to the floor. The Enzo's unique in the fact that it has carbon ceramic brakes with the center caps on them, as most of the cars at the time didn't come with those. But let's move inside the garage a little bit, guys. We'll talk about the F50, we'll talk about all the other cars that are here, but man, dude, that thing looks so good. We have my favorite supercar, probably not hypercar because of its worth, of all time, the Ferrari F50. My original one was the F40, but after learning about the F50, learning a little bit more about its history and the fact that it has a 6-speed manual with an open top and a V12 out the back. If this F50 looks familiar, it is because I filmed this at Cars and Copters in 2023 in Huntington Beach. I'll put the video up there with my
F50 right now!
F50, bro, that is nuts. Yo, it's Keys to the Jungle! Alright guys, time for a quick commercial. You already know who the sponsor of the Tanner Scott YouTube channel is. I don't even need to say it, but for those of you who don't know, it is @Attorney Jeff, baby. You guys know if you get in any kind of accident, whether you slip and fall, you get in a car accident or a work injury, or something that happens that is not your fault, you need to call Attorney Jeff at 1-888-811-JEFF, or hit him up on Instagram @Attorney Jeff, guys. The reason why I carry Attorney Jeff is simple. He helps you guys and he helps me out. What more could I want from a sponsor? He's an awesome dude. He's always in the car community and he's at the events. He's got a lot of love for you guys. But remember, any accident, make sure you hit up Attorney Jeff at 1-888-811-JEFF. My buddy Keys to the Jungle literally drove by hanging out the window with a for sale sign because this car is for sale. I know some of the other cars in this collection are for sale. I don't know exactly what is for sale, so don't quote me, but if you are interested in something, hit up Next Gen Classics and they'd be happy to let you know what is and what is not for sale. So the F50 seats were actually like a lot less comfortable than the ones out there in the Enzo. These ones were a lot tighter. My feet weren't so pushed into the right. It kind of felt more straight, like when you kind of sit inside of a normal car. What makes me so nervous is every time I open up this car, it's very close to this Ferrari here. But you know what? It's okay. We're just gonna roll with it. But so this car is really special because this car has been all over the world. This car has been raced, but this car used to have a roll cage in it because it was a racing car when it was brand new. As you can see by the little marks here in the carbon fiber side tub that goes all the way around, this is where a full roll cage was. Favorite thing about the F50 is the rear end. It is one of the best looking rear ends of all time. You have the quad exhaust tips right there with a mesh here in front, but you can see everything that goes on behind the bumper with the transmission, with the exhaust, with the engine. V12 here. It's like a whole sketch of the F50 and its lineage. Shout out Keys of the Jungle, baby. And then this car was bought by a gentleman named Preston Hen, and Preston Hen raced this car again all over. They tried to import it from Europe into the United States, and this is when the Department of Transportation, the EPA, had a problem with this car. So when you import a race car, you don't have to meet the regulations of the road. You don't have to, you know, obviously get a smog check, and you don't have to pay taxes on it, which is really nice. So this car has a whole racing history. It's been raced since new, and when they tried to import it over here, they said it was a race car, which is true. The Department of Transportation and the EPA had a huge problem with that. Said no, this isn't a race car. So they requested photos. They wanted to see the racing history. They wanted to see the driver's license and the racing licenses of the owner. They wanted to see photos. They wanted to see everything, and they kept going back and forth saying it was a race car, saying it wasn't a race car. The way they figured out if this was a race car was because they used a Coke can. Now you may say, Tanner, why the hell does a Coke can have anything to do with this? If you can roll a Coke can and it hits the bumper, then it's a race car. If it goes underneath the car, then it's not a race car. And this car stopped the Coke can, so that sealed the deal in the entire legal battle that this was a race car, because a Coke can could not roll underneath the car. Even with the lift up, this car is really low. See my hand right here? It like barely fits underneath the F50. Got it immigrated to the States, and then, you know, it's been here ever since in America, because we're filming this right now. That owner unfortunately passed away not too long ago, and then now Next Gen Classics has possession of this F50, and it's for sale if anyone wants to buy it. They have an old Lambo here, some more race cars, a lot of Ferraris in this collection. Ferrari is definitely a favorite here. This is a race car that the owners of Next Gen Classics are building together. It obviously needs a little work in the restoration, but
in the back, but they wanted like the wing to be bigger and stuff, so they've been working on that.
So that car is what that car will become, or well, it was, but then it's going to get restored to look like that with a bigger wing. They have an Indy car here as well. This would literally take off your ankle, like your whole foot. This thing is so low, guys. I don't even think I can fit, yeah, I can't even fit 2 fingers underneath the Indy car. So we have an Isetta here, one of the smallest and oldest BMWs that they ever made. Opens up from the front, and then we have another of one of the oldest BMWs here. And this car, quote me if I'm wrong, the owner was 11 years old when she drove this across the stage, I believe at, it was Concord or Pebble, one of them. That is the weirdest looking shifter I've ever seen. It's bent. I've never seen something like that before. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was definitely a different video that I've ever filmed before. I've never really been around these cars. As you can tell, I'm obviously a little nervous because I obviously don't want to damage anything here. I don't own any of this. I can't afford to fix anything. So if I'm a little nervous, I apologize on camera. But I just want to say, if you guys enjoyed this video, number one, make sure you please like, make sure you please subscribe, comment, tell me what you thought about it. And most important thing, go follow at Next Gen Classics and go follow at Keys of the Jungle for allowing me to come in here and film this. I really appreciate it. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and always remember one thing. Always remember to, one, love yourselves and take care of yourselves. Peace.